Thank you so much, Etienne, for the opportunity. Yeah, first of all, I'm going to start with my background. Yeah, a young performing artist with great enthusiasm in design entrepreneurship. And I lived in a place called Ruchuru in North Congo, Goma, where 1,000 people have been killed due to conflict and wars. And one of my related were also killed at the same time. 4 young were
Unfortunately, luckily we can't hear you.
separate Uganda and Congo.
Okay,
And at
you're
that
back.
particular time,
Sorry, like maybe try without the video that the connection is a bit more stable and we can hear you better. And maybe repeat the last few sentences.
yeah, okay, let me start. Yeah, so I'm called Bahati Buhendwa, I'm 22 years old, young performing artist with great enthusiasm in design, entrepreneurship, and innovation. I lived in a place called Ruchuru, North Kivu, Goma, where 1,000 people were killed, including my relatives. And 4 young sisters of mine were raped and killed at the same time in front of my eyes. This situation happened when I was the age of 14 years. And it was during night when we are trying to escape in the bush, running to Bunagana, which is the nearest border that separates Congo and Uganda. Seriously, I've been a refugee since the day I was born, and up to now, I'm still having the same identity. And I'm always proud to call myself a refugee. Yeah, in 2014, I forced to leave my home country after surviving in a serious attack and ran up to Uganda, where I find myself in a refugee settlement called Nachivale that accommodate over 143,000 refugees, and the majority of its inhabitants are young people living in a traumatic situation without doors of opportunities and no access to education. When I reached in Nakivale, I was like someone who is living in his own world. I don't know what to do to integrate or to get adapted to the situation. First of all, the language barrier was also a problem. I was hopeless with a lot of depression, living in a traumatic situation where I couldn't know what to do so that I could achieve one day my dreams. And the only situation that I could do to survive was to engage myself in doing micro jobs, like fetching water, carrying 5 jerrycans on the bike and selling them at only 3,000. That could not only sustain yourself, even to sustain your family. And that was the situation that we have been living in Nachi Valley. But after spending 4 years within the settlement, I come to realize that young people have a lot of potentials, talents, and they have a lot of creativities, but they don't have opportunities, and they don't have a place where they could express and also display their talents and passions. And I was also find myself among them facing the same challenge, up to the extent that I was also engaged myself in taking drugs and alcohol so that I can maybe forget the story and even the situation that I'm facing within the settlement. Seriously, it wasn't easy to becoming a refugee. And for real, it's a chaos. And up to now, it is still the same challenge that affecting different people in different refugee communities. In 2018, I got a chance of joining one of the SINA community in Nachivale called Unleash Potentials in Motion, where I discovered myself and get a chance of discovering the potential that I had and the value that I can also contribute to my community and also to support the young people within the settlement. And as far as I was passionate in art, let me say I'm a dancer. It's when I, together with the team, we came up with Refugee Global Talent, which is a platform that are promoting and nurturing talents of young refugees. Refugee Global Talents, it's a project that's aimed to educate, empower, promote talents, and creating talents opportunities for the young people within the settlement, while supporting them to turn their passion into their profession. When I joined Unleash Potentials in Motion, I was like, actually, I was there without expecting anything that can be positive to my life, even to the life of the young people within the settlement. I was like, let me just going there, losing time instead of remaining at home, taking drugs and alcohol. But after experiencing Unleash for some few months after passing through the stages, I came to realize that I have a lot to give to the community, and not only to support young people, but also to help them grow their economy. Yeah, so Refugee Global Talent is supporting talents of young people through organizing festivals and events where participants gain bigger recognition and acknowledgement in their community. Because we have seen that these young people, they have things that could change and challenge the world, but they all have a door of where they could expose what they are passionate about. And from there, we came to realize that this kind of festivals will be supporting these young people to display their talent and also exhibit what they can do. And this shows we are not only promoting talents, but we are also using art as a therapy for these people who have experienced trauma, depression, and stress. In 2019, we organized our first edition of the International Refugee Art Festival, where we promoted 56 artists coming from three different refugee settlements, and none less than 2,000 people attended to our festival. Like sharing culture together with refugees, regaining smiles on their faces while advocating against xenophobia for refugees, with the theme, Say No to Xenophobia. The festival was very massive, and it has supported us, and it has given us many ideas on how we could really not only remain on a national level, but to grow and to make it on an international level in order to support other refugees from different countries. So in 2020, we couldn't make it happen due to COVID-19, but in 2021, we also make happen our second edition of the International Refugee Art Festival that took place in Chakatu. And the goal was to sensitize youth about their potentials and to make sure that we show the values that they have in their talents and on how they can turn their passion into their profession in order to become self-sustainable through using their talents. Yeah, we are envisioning at a world where refugees can rebuild their lives through using their talents while contributing to the global economy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Refugee Global Talent, and we are really looking forward for your feedback and support in order to push us forward and to create a very big impact together with SINA and all SINA communities around Uganda and around the world. Thank you.